spot new trends and highlight them and talk about what they say of how we're evolving as a society. And perhaps one of those things that have happened now in Delhi University in the prestigious Lady Shri Ram College is that for the first time they're one of the first colleges to have a forum for LGBT community, and it's called Curiosity. So we have members of that group joining us from LSR. We'll be speaking to them in just a bit. We also have activists and lawyers who have been involved with the whole 377 movement. We're of course coming to you from Connaught Place, one of the landmarks of the capital. But first, here's a little bit about what the DU girls, what the LSR girls have started. Take a look. So we're talking about this new forum for LGBT students started in Lady Shri Ram College, and they're right here with us. The question really is that we're talking about is, have the campus accepted what the courts couldn't? Remember earlier this year, Supreme Court struck down the Delhi High Court ruling which had decriminalized homosexuality, read down 377. And so while this year in Delhi University, we also saw for the first time the transgenders being able to get admission through a separate form, a separate entry. So welcome girls, thank you for being here on Agenda. Now I just wanted to ask, where did this idea come about?
Okay, it really, a lot of us, like in a space like LSR, which is a feminist space and it's an educated area, and like in college, this is the time when you explore your sexuality, when most of us get to really know get to know of
Yes.
these issues in depth.
Yeah.
And you get sensitized. So a lot of us
So we
this
thought
is an open
about
space
it.
for us.
Yeah.
We thought about it, and we've been contemplating it for quite some time now. But I think it was a Supreme Court judgment and the unfairness of the Supreme Court judgment that triggered it. It happened in January, but thinking and formulation led to the formulation of society in August finally. And like she said, university is very important, and to be able to be who you are and
So
come out as who
can I
you are.
ask you, what's the objective of this forum that you've started? Because it is quite rare. I want our viewers to know that a forum like this exists perhaps in JNU. I've also been told it exists in IIT Delhi as well. So there are only IIT Bombay. That's right. So only a few institutes which have LGBT forums like this. So what is the objective?
I think the objective is to lessen the homophobia and to create a space that is friendly enough. We're not aiming for people to come out or to talk about. It's just to create awareness and to lessen the stigma that is associated with these issues.
Are all the members LGBT?
No, that's not true. Our title is Queerosity, where
Yeah.
the word queer comes in, and what we take queer to mean is more than LGBT. It's about questioning. It's about anybody who does not accept the heteronormative norms of the conventional stereotypes that we associate with all these issues.
I'm really interested in knowing, did the faculty members, when they heard about it, were they all welcoming, or how was the response?
We have had quite an encouraging response from them, because I think we have discussed the question of gender and queerness
Yeah.
in our own classrooms. So they have been accepting, they have been supportive of us.
Well, it's really interesting what you're doing, but our talking point really is, have the campus, have students done what courts couldn't? And Danish Sheikh is of course an activist over here, and Amritanan Chakravarti is someone from Lawyers Collective who've been fighting the entire case. Do you think that students have done what courts couldn't?
Absolutely. At some point, of course, the law is a very important tool for all of us, and that's what the NAS Foundation judgment did. It gave us a language of rights, it gave us a language of liberty, but the Supreme Court tried to take that away. Now, the law is only one way in which we constitute ourselves, but I think what you've shown is that there is a life beyond the law, there's a life beyond the text, and so it's quite remarkable, really, and yeah.
So what's interesting to me, and I have to ask that, since it's been, the whole decriminalization, which Delhi, otherwise this should have come very naturally to Delhi, because we've been reading about how a lot of communities celebrated Delhi And this was supposed to have become one of those buzzing capitals for the gay community. But what they're doing now, in a way, in a strict sense of the law, is it illegal?
Not at all. I mean, even the Supreme Court judgment, which overturned the Delhi High Court judgment and you can say recriminalized adult consensual sex between in private. But the point is not that being gay is not a crime in India. So being a homosexual person, no, it is not.
Despite the Supreme Court ruling.
Yeah, the Supreme Court ruling is applicable only to sexual acts.
Okay.
It does not criminalize a sexual identity.
Okay.
So that is the foremost important point that we get, I mean, whatever we can salvage from the Supreme Court judgment.
Okay. Now, one thing that we have to, one of our talking points has to be, is this something, because we had Delhi University selling those forms earlier this year as well, it looks like change is coming to our society at Delhi University. But is it something that could only happen in certain pockets? Because we also have a larger audience of other college students, and I'll get to them in just a bit. But do you think this could have only happened in a girls' college or in a more liberal kind of environment?
I don't really think so. I think everybody takes it one step at a time. In fact, when you enter college, you come from a very homophobic environment because schools are very homophobic.
Schools are?
Schools are very homophobic, especially if you've been to a convent. Very homophobic. However, when you come out, you because you've grown up and you step out of that safe, very sheltered, cocooned environment, you decide that you want to explore new things, and you learn, you grow. I have friends who have become from being extremely homophobic to be not homophobic at all.
In college.
In college.
Just because of the kind of exposure. And that's what a higher education perhaps is all supposed to be about. But behind the LSR girls, we have some of the students from Amity. And so you were telling us how this kind of thing, would it have happened in your college? Yeah.
It would have happened in a college, but it would have taken time to accept it, because it's not easy to accept something like this, because it's very slow, but it is acceptable. Changes.
It should happen, but do you see it happening?
Like before, the acceptance is secondary, but in colleges like ours, people will not, who are gay, firstly they will not accept that they are gay.
A lot of people haven't come out yet.
They will not come forward and they will not accept that they are gay. So firstly we have to see that.
Okay, yeah.
I'd like to say something. It's not necessary for everybody in the campus to come up and volunteer. Even a few, broad-minded people can form a society like this. And slowly, I think in course of time, people will get the hang of it.
So will a lot of you go back now and think about forming such a society?
Sure,
why not?
Now that we know that such society exists,
we can.
It will take time, but they will accept it.
Okay, Danish, I wanted to ask you, does this really show the change happening, or is it still in isolated pockets? Are we being too optimistic?
So I think you asked a good question about whether this is only happening in liberal spaces, right? And I think for a long time that was the case, because you saw Anjuman in JNU, so that's a liberal arts college, or you have law school like the National Law School and Alsa Hyderabad. So these are like law universities where we're taught language of rights, right? So intuitively it becomes easier and more plausible for queer spaces to exist there. But I think with something like engineering colleges, I think something like the IIT Bombay group, Sathi, the fact that exists, I think that's really in some ways breaking this kind of silence. And so I think a lot of it is to do with the fact of how we generally as a society talking more about this language of rights. We're having more pride marches in every city now.
Yeah.
So like Kochi had a recent pride march.
Yeah, so it's spreading that way.
Yeah.
The transgenders that were allowed, are we aware of how they're doing? Is it just symbolism, or are they just kind of, paving the way for change? How is this translating into everyday campus life or life in general in society?
So the transgender judgment is still new. It came out in April 2014. So it's just been few months. So in terms of the implementation, we have to wait for a couple of more months. But in terms of the
so they haven't started going to colleges.
No, there have been very good developments. Like Delhi University came out with this thing that admission would be granted to transgender persons in their chosen gender
identity.
They got? I mean, it's part of the form, so I don't know the exact data of how many people have applied.
Because we tried looking for some of these transgender students in order to highlight, and we weren't able to focus on them. So
No, and also others, I think even Mumbai University had come out with this notification. So universities and couple of other developments have taken place, or they have incorporated the transgender judgment.
Yeah.
But in terms of real effect on the ground, it is still too early to say.
Even the CAT firms have introduced the third gender, the option for other in their firms.
And I think what was interesting was they felt that Lady Shri Ram College, because it's a girls' college, couldn't have transgenders. You felt differently.
No, most definitely not. But the point is, because the judgment is really new, we wouldn't know yet.
You wouldn't know yet.
We won't know yet. We don't know how it works out.
But you're saying that it could work in all colleges, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not, the judgment is not just about recognition of Hijra identity or third gender identity. It is about self-identified gender. So any gender you identify as, you know, that is the judgment gives you the language and the rights that Danish was talking about. That
I mean, I suppose
it is about self-determination and autonomy. You know, you can be who you are, and the Supreme Court tells you, yes, you can be who you are.
Okay, that's really encouraging. We're really going to talk about this in just a bit. When we come back, they're going to tell us, the LSR girls are going to tell us what happened when they went to other colleges, the response they've been getting. Stay with us.